So, tonight from Around the Cabin, I'm going to read to you from a book called You Can Be Happy No Matter What. Richard Carlson, PhD. The Five Principles for Keeping Life in Perspective. He is the author of one of my favorite books, which is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, for it is all the small stuff. So, Around the Cabin, by candlelight, listening to a crackling fire, I will share with you some of this book. Introduction. Happiness. It's something that all of us want, but few of us ever achieve. It's characterized by feelings of gratitude, inner peace, satisfaction, and affection for ourselves and for others. Our most natural state of mind is one of contentment and joy. The barriers or obstructions that keep us from experiencing these positive feelings are learned negative processes that we have innocently come to accept as necessary or as just the way life is. When we uncover these inherent positive feelings and remove the obstructions keeping us from them, the result is a more meaningful and beautiful experience of life. These positive feelings are not fleeting emotions that come and go with changing circumstances, but permeate our lives and become part of us. Finding this state of mind allows us to be more lighthearted and easygoing, whether or not our circumstances seem to warrant this positive outlook. In this nicer state, life seems less complicated and our problems are lessened. The reason is that when we feel better, we have more access to our own wisdom and common sense. We tend to be less reactive, defensive, and critical. We make better decisions and communicate more effectively. The best way to uncover these deep positive feelings within yourself is to begin to understand their source. There are 5 principles of psychological functioning that act as guides or navigators and will help you regain your natural sense of serenity. I call this natural state healthy psychological functioning, or simply a nice feeling. You will learn to detect and protect yourself from the psychological obstructions that have kept you from these positive feelings, those insecure thoughts that you have learned to take too seriously. The first 4 principles of this book are based on a series of psychological principles that were originally formulated by Dr. Rick Suarez and Roger C. Mills. They show you how to obtain success to this feeling of happiness whenever you like. Once understood, these principles allow you to feel happy and contented regardless of your problems. As a consultant who teaches these principles in my own practice, I continually see people transform their lives in a more positive direction in spite of the difficult challenges they face. When you feel genuinely contented with your life, you will be able to solve any problem more easily and effectively and efficiently than you ever thought possible. The 5 principles I am about to introduce represent a profound breakthrough in the understanding of human psychological functioning. They are remarkably simple yet powerful principles that explain how the mind works, and they can be used by all human beings regardless of where they live. They cross all cultural barriers. The principles are described in detail beginning in chapter 1, but I'll summarize them here. Thinking. Our ability to think creates our psychological experience of life, and thinking is a voluntary function. Moods. Our own understanding that thinking is a voluntary function fluctuates from moment to moment and day to day. These variances are called moods. Separate psychological realities. Because we all think in a unique way, each of us lives in a separate psychological reality. Feelings. Our feelings and emotions serve as a built-in biofeedback mechanism that lets us know how we are doing from a psychological standpoint. The present moment. Learning to keep our attention in the present moment by paying attention to our feelings allows us to live at peak efficiency and without the distraction of negative thinking. The present moment is where we find happiness and inner peace. Learning how your mind operates and functions allows you to access to happiness, a magnificent feeling which enables you to freely enjoy your life and relationships. Most approaches to happiness advocate doing or changing something in your life, but experience shows us that this is a temporary cure at best. The mindset that tells us to be happy, we must do something differently, does not go away when the change has taken place. It then starts all over again, looking for flaws and conditions that must be met and corrected before we can feel happy. When you understand the 5 principles of healthy psychological functioning, you can reverse this dynamic and feel happy right now, even if you and your life aren't perfect. Once you are feeling content and no longer distracted by your false negativity, better access to your true wisdom and common sense will allow you to see solutions and alternatives that have been buried under weighty concerns and busy internal dialogue. And I think I'm going to stop there because it's getting like a long video. So this is part 1.